I've always had a spirit of adventure all throughout my life from a little child, but I never knew the discoveries that awaited me when my mother asked me to transcribe her journey with and her passion with textiles in the fruition of this book. Oying Motsü is my mother's legacy to us, and also her legacy, a project of love that was written with meticulous care. We took over 5 years working on each story, fascinating accounts of her own lives and that of other people's lives, of different cultures and experiences that she had had growing up, and the social, cultural, even political, historical, and the emotions of our Naga people. It has truly been an enriching experience for me, and please allow me to share a little bit on introducing the book because it will help us understand the sentiments behind it. The book, first of all, talks about the journey of my mother's weaving as a young child. It also gives account of the ancient heritage weaves of the Lotha community in particular, and then the broad aspects of Naga weavers. We are very grateful to the Big Rivers Museum for allowing us to continue to dialogue over the past 5 years, even giving their photographs to be part of the book, and also to lend tremendous support as they have the largest collection of Nagas in their museum, incidentally. The other aspect of the book also is the sentiments that lie very strongly. It is a book that celebrates the weavers of yesteryears. My mother grew up without a mother. Her mother died when she was just 6 years old. And so the closest mother figures in her lives were these 2 and 3 ladies in Boca town that were constantly weaving. And she would spend time from the age of 6 just learning to roll the yarn over the loom and seeing how they were beating, and just being mesmerized by the way they moved dexterously over the loin loom. And through that, her passion also grew, and her love for creativity and textiles grew from then. And so it is a celebration of our foremothers, of our ancient mothers, who not only taught us the skills and love and creativity, but also their mind, the ingenuity of how they would put together not just math in the way they counted, they did creativity. We learned about agriculture, learned about culture and history, and so many thought processes that existed during that time. And so it has been such an enriching experience. And as you read through it, you will also see stories after stories celebrating amazing women. 2 stories I would like to share from that is one of Anya Likau. She's the queen of Shangyu village. And during that time, my mother and her began a friendship because my father was posted in Mon as DC at that time. And as 2 young women, their friendship blossomed into weaving. And through their discourse, they ended up conceptualizing and weaving the whole Konyak Mekhala that is actually displayed behind there, 60 years old, woven by that queen. And also we have story of a Lotha warrior lady, beautiful. As she was weaving, a headhunter came to chop her head because of her beautiful hair, but she took the weaving blade and actually defended herself and killed him. So we have stories like that, which are actually true stories and true narratives of our traditions, and it is a book that inspires us so much. We all, in every Naga village, would have stories of at least one patriarchal figure that is known for her character and for her wisdom. And I'm sure sitting here, each of you can think of someone in your mind. And so it celebrates just our mothers who have just given so much thought in the way they have woven. The other aspect is that through the weaving, The book also takes a very bold stand that it is not just culture and clothing that they gave to us, but our foremothers actually told us, communicated, and the textiles are a visual communication of what they wanted to express to us over the decades and over the centuries. True that we are an oral tradition and our people have been following that for centuries. It has been strong, we have had our own challenges, but maybe, just maybe, if we look at our weaves, every tribe has such a distinct pattern. Our honor shawls have patterns that are meant only for people who have achieved certain gyanas and rituals. We have clothes that are gender divided, some are unisex shawls for children and for all purposes of social standings as well. So there is a way in which they taught us how dyes were made. And so in terms of science also, they did a lot of things, even though in many ways, in very in different perspectives, people will call us maybe primitive or tribal cultures, but when we look at it, it is not so. I think they are very sophisticated in their heart and their mind, and they have shared it with us, and today is a celebration of that as well. One thing is that the Nagas, our culture, we really believe, my mother and I, while we were working through the book, that it is an intellectual property that belongs to all the Nagas. And as more and more creativity is done, and as our leaders are also promoting that, our ho-hos and our government, it is so imperative that we remember to support and uphold and cheer each other on as we continue to follow the legacy and bring out new innovations even in our textiles. So we want to thank you through the book. Thank you for being here. It is so meaningful to all of us. The weaves, every time a Naga weave that you wear, it is not only about culture, but it is also poetry. It is a song. It is a story that we wear, and it is to be worn proudly and happily. So thank you.
First of all, I thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for coming today, giving me your precious time. I'm so grateful and thankful to you. Today is indeed an extremely joyous occasion for me, as it has been my long cherished memory dream to bring to you this book on Naga textile. Oying Motsü, or the story of threads, is not just a personal account of my weaving journey, but also a testament of the incredible legacy of our ancestors who has carried this art form intact from one generation to the next. My journey with threads began as a small girl, watching my elders weave. This passion has led me to design modern weaves of my Lotha tribe, rediscover our heritage weaves and motifs through the Beach River Museum archives in Oxford, London, explore new cultural horizons with Queen the Cow of Shangyu Village, Mon District, and embark in the weaving transformation of Naga modern designs, which took place from 1980s through the initiative of the Nagaland Women Voluntary Association. Though the main product is all focused on the heritage, traditional and modern weaves of the Lotha, it also centers upon the extraordinary contribution and achievement of our foremothers, who passed down the skill, design, and purpose for which they wove. They are no more now, but we can honor them through our weaving of our traditional practices and the weaving and the propagation of our traditional art. We must remember that they have provided the foundation from which we have a lifelong responsibility to innovate and grow its impact and popularity. Our clothes are not created for functionality alone, but each piece of garment reveals the remarkable thought process of our ancient mothers who took it upon themselves to tell us about our traditions, with each design representing values of that era and the sentiment of our community. I want to read this sentence. Our clothes are not created for functionality alone, but each piece of garment reveals the remarkable thought process of our ancient mothers who took it upon themselves to tell us about our traditions, with each design representing values of that era and the sentiment of our community. History is remembered because it is recorded and written methodically. In the weaving narrative of the Nagas, most of what we know has been told orally to us. But with the generation passing on, there is a great need for our written literature to speak on till posterity on behalf of the older generation. I would like to acknowledge those in this book who have attested to the accounts I have mentioned. They act as keepers, and I want to emphasize that they each play crucial roles as observers, as researchers, and as recorders of our history. It gives me great joy and honor to read out their names now. Mr. Jingwan Gonyak, former MP and Minister. Ms. Helen Gonyak, former Women Commission Member, Nagaland. And Genes K. Bioner. Mrs. Alana Jamir, wife of the former Chief Minister, S.C. Jamir. Padmasri Yusano Bamazo. Mrs. Kaisa Rio, current President of the Nagaland Women Voluntary Association. Mrs. Banu Jamir, IAS, former Chief Secretary of Nagaland. Dr. Bipa Joshi, Research Professor of Anthropology and Ethnology, Peace River Museum. Mrs. Julia Nicholson, former Curator, Peace River Museum. Mrs. Tanka, former President of Nagaland Women Voluntary Association. Let the Reverend Zassom Zoe, Mrs. Chobi Liaison, former Lotha Eloho President. And lastly, Dr. Teise No Kiditze, English professor and culture revivalist. I thank all of you for my heart, from the bottom of my heart. I hope you will enjoy reading this book as going through its pages with as much enthusiasm and joy I have had in bringing it together. This book is a result of many contributions of 5 long, dedicated years, as my daughter had just mentioned. I express my deep gratitude and thankfulness to God, my daughter to Janol, for her immense personal investment in this project. With River Museum, my family, and each and every person who have contributed for the success of this book. And lastly, I thank each and every one of you who are here. From the bottom, from the love of my heart, thank you so much for your coming and being a blessing. Thank you and God bless us.
Thank you, Auntie, for beautifully narrating your book. We look forward to read very soon. Naga Kanzasa, or the Unity Shawl, the Shawl of Oneness, conceptualized in 2022. The Kanzasa is woven with 40 threads of different colors. The main body of the shawl is set in black with red borders on the top and bottom parts of the shawl. Following the red borders, there is a set of 40 horizontal lines of threads that runs across the upper and the bottom part of the shawl. Each colors represent the 40 tribes that were part of the Great Migration. This shawl is a symbol of love, unity, peace, and prosperity, and can be worn by both male and female. With this, I once again call upon Kyo to lead the facilitation.
I now invite our Honorable Chief Minister of Nagaland, Dr. Neiphiu Rio, and Mrs. Rio to please come as we felicitate you and honor you at the launch of the Unity Shawl, or the Kanzase, as we say in Lotha. Could you please come to the podium? In Lotha, we call it the Kanzase because that is the story that was told to mom by her father. A long time ago, during the migratory route, 40 tribes traveled from Mongolia, as they said then. They traveled, and at every stop, they would pass each other on her shawls, and the lines in the shawls represent the 40 tribes. Each symbol is also part of symbols that are very dear to the Naga culture. Thank you very much. Sir, I would like you to continue standing. We will now release the book. I may now invite our Motsü to give a little speech.
To celebrate a lifelong ambition from tender age to her age of old age, and accomplishment, a story of her people, our tradition, particularly in our textile, our designs, our motifs, the color combinations of each tribes, and particularly Lotha tribe, which she has been working with many of her friends and supporters. And I think particularly her daughter, who has been a very strong supporter. To tell the story, it is very difficult for a man like me because I'm very much ignorant, and men, we don't do weaving. Our longs are weavings. That is not our job. But we have so many wonderful ladies. The white people call us savage wisdom. Though we were illiterate, we have no clothes to wear, but whatever we do, the little we have so many designs and patterns, which tells stories of our rich culture tradition. When I was in Russia last month, in the St. Petersburg, we met the chairman of the city, who is also a minister of external relationship. And I told about Naga story. And that story I want to tell. Today, why we are celebrating this kind of our women's who had weaves, clothes for us with that simple tradition weaving of dyeing colors and designing. Now with fusions of modernity and tradition, beautiful designs has come. And I always go back to remember when the British came to our land in 1830s, early 30s. To take over India, because there were so many princely states. I believe more than 565 princely states. And then they British defeat one by one, used the defeated soldiers to conquer the others, or send messages that a very strong white people is better used surrender. So the British took over India, the South continent. India was never a country. When they came to Naga Hills, there was no kings, no governance. You have only tribal leaders living in isolation. So British has to fight with every village, with every range. And I told those Russian leaders that we fought with the British for over 40 years. And it reminds me when this evening Kitano said about the Peach River Museum in Oxford University. The exhibition of human remains, which British has taken during their period. The artifacts and many objects they have taken. I told the story, and why it is so? Because we had resisted, we had even killed their political officers and their army officers. And many soldiers, though we lost many warriors. So to show the people, why would somebody carry the human remains of Nagas or the objects or the artifacts of the Nagas? Because they give that strong resistance. What British did, good thing for us was to pass a law in 1873 known as the Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation Act, 1873, which brought inner-line regulation to our land. The mainland people coming to Naga Hills, they need permit. They cannot possess immovable properties. They cannot even buy the artifacts, the precious our ancestors' objects. It is clearly mentioned in the Act that if anybody carrying and taking away, impose fine and jailed. Very strict laws. And though they did administration in our land, they never allow outsiders to come and interfere, and they did not interfere into our rural local bodies, our culture, tradition, and our customary laws. That protection we got. And the American Baptists, they both brought Christianity to our land. Christianity and education. And today, I always remember this, from darkness to light, the theme of which the setting. So, today, this is Abeni TCK. Her family is TCK Lotha. I had a privilege of having a close relationship with her family. I worked with the father in the government as very praised and retired as chief secretary. Came in public life and became elected and as minister we worked together. Through sickness he died, but our beloved Abeni TCK, she continued to work in the government like how she worked during her husband's time. In the so many social activities in Red Cross, Indian Red Cross Society of Nagaland units, in different capacities, Nagaland Women Voluntary Association, Naga Mothers Association, in different capacities. And also for her service to our community in different organizations, she was given recognitions, awards in many, and also the best modern design competition award also she got. So that tells a story. They have told us all the stories. If I venture into that, I'll make mistake. So I'm afraid to say. But the display you can see is their lifetime achievement. And I'm sure launching this book of Oying Motsü, this book will go to many homes and inspire many people, particularly youngs. And like any tribe, as we promote, we call Nagaland as land of festivals. And we are a tribal state. And every tribe has festival to celebrate. And that's how consecutive government the state government give protection and promotion of our rich culture tradition, our customary laws. And that's why even venturing to districts and tribal headquarters, we call it mini hornbill festival, a road show, promoting our songs and dances, our clothing, our wares, our ethnic foods, and handloom handicrafts. And the culmination of travel festival is the Hornbill Festival, which is not only our festival, but a festival of nation and international. And not only that, today, state partners we have in the country. We have so many countries wanting to come as country partners in the Hornbill Festival. So, the vibrancy of Naga society, the youth, the innovation, the inspiration, the determination. I think Naga now is known for their rich culture tradition. And that's how the world is coming to see us. Not because we could imitate others, but we are different, we are unique. Britishers, the white people recognize us, protect and promote us. Even Indian government, which we became the 16th states, the leaders of that time got into agreement and demanded that Bengal Revolution of 1873 should continue in the new state of Nagaland. That's how in the agreement it is said. Bengal Revolution of 1873 shall be enforced in Nagaland. So till today we have that privilege. And that is not only for Nagas. Bengal means why Bengal? Because British headquarters was in West Bengal, Bengal. Bengal Eastern means the today Northeast is known as Assam. So we have so many hill tribals. So since Nagaland achieved this continuity of the revolution, after Nagaland, then Mizoram, Arunachal, and hills of Manipur all had the privilege of this revolution. We are protected. And therefore, we are made to grow in this manner. Even government in the Northeast, the donor minister, we had decided to set up various sectors and handloom handicrafts. And all these sectors were to be headed by chief ministers as convener and other chief ministers as members. So in this sector of handloom and handicraft, the high-level task force, I made the convener, and the chief minister of Mizoram, Assam, Manipur, and even donor minister himself is a member. So that is not trusting me, but that is trusting Nagaland state and the advancements and improvement we have showcased. Therefore, we had brought out, and then we are going to submit and finalized by October. So few things we have decided are like now we should bring in the experts of textile designers, the knowledge, and bringing samples after designing with the approval of the tribal halls and the women organizations. And second point is the yarn banks. Quality control to produce quality works and giving the approved design to the weavers. So in this self-help group or setting up cooperative societies to get volume, now you have 100 or 1,000 weavers under your society or your group. You can buy the yarns from the yarns bank and then buyback policy. Not only quality by price control, and also even try to give subsidies in this thing. So I think it will go to the next level and we can do production at commercial scale. Yes, there will be pricing and standardizing of everything. Then the mapping of market, the waivers, a cluster so that we can produce and supply to the demands. So in this manner, many things are being in discussion. And so now in Nagaland, your handloom handicraft from industry, the women resource, then your Duda, because they have mighty and also venturing. And all these coming together, we will present, and all these member states also will give their submission and will synchronize and bring out a policy. And the ministry also will give us help to the waivers. We'll make assessment. Today we know that the waivers are not earning. Because it's a very hard-working daily job. You cannot get your hazira, your daily wage. But we want to improve the income so that more people can come here. I really congratulate our gracious lady, Mrs. Abeni TCK, for your wonderful job, your contribution to not only Naga society, but Lotha's in particular. And I'm sure that your remarkable achievement and your launching the book will inspire many young persons and will further advance our Naga traditional wears and designs. So my best wishes to you. And I remember you and your daughter came to our house. You told your story about your book, your passion from your childhood. Now today this achievement not only makes you happy, but makes every one of us very happy for you. Today I was asked if I am too busy to lunch in my office through virtual, and you'll have some program here. So I volunteered to come and show my face to you and to the supporters, the family, that we love you and we are really happy for what you have done to our people, and particularly to your community. So once again, I congratulate you and wish you continued health, happiness, and success in your ventures. And we'll always be there, continue to support you and your works. Thank you and God bless.